Hey guys, Southern Comfort here. We had a lot of wind yesterday, and finally, I have to say, the corn made it. I've been kind of documenting this corn a little bit. It's gone down 5 times. Last time it took me 3 hours to get this corn to stand back up. And if you look closely, you'll see that a lot of it's leaning. I was really super amazed that it did not go down yesterday. Really super amazed. I just knew it was going down. Every time I think it's going to stand up, it goes down. Let's see if I can get through this. So last time, for the 5th time, it took 3 hours to get this corn to stand up. 3 hours to get it back up. And I'm gonna tell you what, I was sweating. It was hard work. I was like, I don't know. I don't know about this. This is getting to be too much. I got other things to do in the garden. And this area right here, by the afternoon, went down. If you look closely in there, you'll see that it's laying down. And I said, you know what? I can't keep doing this. I got other things to do. Not knowing if it's going to make it or not. Now, the reason I'm doing this video, because I've seen a couple comments that I was doing clickbait, which is not true. If you ever had to try to stand up 10 foot, 11 foot tall corn, and it's a lot of work. Most people just give up on it. If you ever try to do that, you're sweating, it's time consuming. You don't know if it's going to make it. And I guess because I didn't make a video, I don't think I did. I made several videos, I don't know. I probably did, I'm not sure, of the corn laying completely down to the ground. That's determination. When you get out there and see your corn laying completely down and you get out there and put it back up, knowing it's possibly going to go down, that's determination. But you know what? This corn deserves it. It's beautiful, and it's growing corn. One person made a comment, how do I know it pollinated? Well, that's how I know. And the other reason I know that it pollinated, because I opened up a couple ears of corn, and it's developing corn. Now, it's not big enough to eat. I tasted a little bit of it, and it was sweet, but it wasn't big enough. That's the thing I'm concerned with, is this corn going to grow big enough? Because surely, as I'm standing here, going down so many times, it's shocking the plant every time. And then it's got to regenerate. It's got to get itself together. And another reason I know is that after the first time it going down, I shook the corn, and I could see the pollen falling. Plus, these little kernel things here, it's got pollen all over it. It was all over the ground, everywhere, on the corn. And so, yeah, if it goes down, you don't know. That was my concern. Is it going to pollinate? Is it going to pollinate with it just falling down so many times? And then I thought, well, you know what? It might pollinate better than before, going down on top of each other. So it's back up. We had a lot of wind yesterday. So honestly, I didn't even look at the corn. I didn't even want to look at it, because I thought it's going down. It's going down. It's gone down so many times. And I figured out what the problem is that my brace roots was not long enough. We've had so much rain. I mean rain. So the soil was wet. The brace roots are not big enough to brace it up. And you'll see those little kernel things down there that come off it's pollinating. But it's rained a lot. The soil is wet. The brace roots are not big enough yet. And with it falling down so many times, how can it grow properly? How can it do anything properly? It's got to get over itself. So, or get over the circumstances. Now the sun is doing a little bit here. We're going through a cycle in the sun. A lot of people don't know about it. A lot of people don't talk about it. A lot of people wonder why their plants are doing crazy things, or they think it's them. No, it's not you. The sun is going through a cycle. And so that creates an environment on the earth to go through things. You know? And there is a saying that they're playing with the weather. So, you know how they are. Experimenting with the weather. Trying to control the weather. And then with the sun going through a cycle, it's going to do things on the earth. So, anyways, no clickbait. I wouldn't do that. I don't have time for clickbait. I got too much going on for clickbait. I got tons of videos that I can't get to edit. I haven't gotten to edit. Tons of videos to get out. A lot of times I just can't even get to making a video. Because why? I'm putting up corn. I'm taking the time to try to make this corn survive. I'm doing something I've never done before. They say, and one of the comments was that it'll stand back up. One comment was that at 4 feet high, their corn laid flat. Trying to get through this corn here. And a good comment, a really good comment, a lady told me about it. You see how this is putting out little corn? Then this has been cut, so it's growing back. And it had like 4 or 5 of them. She says if I don't cut that, now I'm learning corn, okay? I've learned that I can grow corn. Did very well last year. But she said if you don't get those out, it won't produce corn. And I had went through there and cut all these out because I was like, I know good and well I didn't plant 4 or 5 or 6 seeds. And I wasn't sure if it was, you know, what that was called. I called it suckers. I've never seen it before. And she said if I don't cut that out, it won't grow corn. So that was very helpful. That let me know that I did the right thing, because I went through all this corn. It kept putting out these little corns out around it. And because my concern was, well, maybe if I hadn't cut that, my corn wouldn't went down. It would have had more roots. But she said if I didn't do that, it would not grow corn. And she used a word for it. I forgot the name of it, but I'm going to look it up to get, you know, this is a learning curve here. When you're doing gardening, you got to learn. If you're staying stuck in the same rut, growing the same thing, then you're not learning. You know, you're not expanding your learning. You're not expanding your gardening. And like these Brussels sprouts here. Don't grow Brussels sprouts. I've got some Brussels sprouts on there. But this year, every year I try something new. Every year I try to do something new and learn something new. The only way to learn is by doing and learning by the mistakes. Because I kept looking at this corn. I said, what did I do wrong? You know, I did it the same as last year, but it really wasn't me. I've got a lot of blockage, a wind. But I think it was just like the wind came in and just gushed down and took the corn down. Of course, I've got an open field here. So it just happened. But it dawned on me. My brace roots, you know, the corn, it still has some growing to do. It would be taller, it would be bigger, it would be, you know, some of the stalks had 4 or 5 ears onto it growing. So that's what's going on. No clickbait. I don't have time to clickbait. Because I decided, you know, if this corn continues going down, I'm just going to give up on it, I think. Because I got a garden to take care of. And I believe in taking care of my garden rightly. And it's harvest time. Things that came out of the garden. Things are growing into the garden. Oh, there's that white butterfly. I don't like to see that in my garden. She's laying worms. So, you know, and that's another thing. You gotta pay attention to your garden, because these things are gonna happen. And she's flying around laying eggs, and you got to pay strict attention to your garden. Or if not, you'll be consumed with pests and you won't get anything. So, no clickbait. Look, my cat's trying to get that butterfly. Get it, baby, get it. But thanks guys for watching. Just want to let you know, okay, 5 times it went down, but we had a good wind. So I was like, okay, I'm I'm gonna come out here, and I know it's gonna be down. My plan was, if it goes down like it was, now that's what I'm saying. But knowing me, I'll probably put it right back up. If it goes down just like I did in that area right there, I'm just let it lay down, and I'm gonna learn from it. Because I need to learn something from this. I'm going through this for a reason, to learn from it. You can't learn without hardships. Not really. A few hardships, just when you think you got it together, just when you think that you know gardening, just when it'll throw you a curveball, just when you think you know all the pests, here comes a different pest. You know, just when you think. And so gardening's always learning. Always learning. And that's why you need to keep up with what's going on in the earth, because the sun is doing this thing, and I've been gardening a long time. And I'm here to tell you, you know, it's hard to garden now because of things that's going on in the earth. I've seen times I could throw a seed in the ground and not do a whole lot to it. But now I need to pay attention, and I have to work at it. And there's another pest. That's why I like to come out here early in the morning. Usually I'm like, oop, he flew away. That's why I like to come out here early in the morning, because if you come out early in the morning, then they're not as apt to fly away. They're kind of stable, and you can mash them, and you can see what's going on in the garden. You can see what pest is roaming into your garden, because most of the time they'll be on top of the plant. Now the sun is up. The sun is up, and they're roaming around. They'll be up under the leaves. You know, the eggs, they're laying eggs and stuff. And so staying for garden and learning garden is very key. So I couldn't, you know, I got tons of videos. I use a camera. This was on my phone. And so I just don't, sometimes when you're really super doing a homestead, baby. When you're doing a homestead, sometimes you don't have time. You just don't have, if you're really taking care of a homestead, like it's supposed to be taken care of, you don't have time. You got so many projects going on, you don't have time to be fooling around if you're going to be successful at it. So, the corn is up. Amazed. I'm totally amazed. Now, does that mean anything? No, we got more weather coming in. We got more super bad weather coming in the next week. And so I have calmed myself down and said, you know, the environment, what's going on, what things are going on into the earth, what people are doing, you know, scientifically, you know, and what the cycle is going through, you know. And sometimes you have seasons. You'll have seasons that you just not going to be successful at it. You'll have failures. You'll have crop failures. That's why they call it crop failures. But the thing of it is learn from it. Learn what's going on at that moment. So I knew that the soil was wet. We had lots of rain. I acknowledged that the brace roots was not deep enough, or hadn't even come on, the root system onto the corn wasn't that much. And how can any plant really stand up properly without a good root system? So I'm thinking, okay, is that something lacking into my soil? Well, I don't think so. I think that the corn got tall. You know, I haven't measured it, but looking at that one in the middle back there, that's got to be at least 10 feet tall, near there, you know. So you got some tall crop here that's tall. Corn don't have a whole lot of roots to it, and when the soil's wet, it's going to kind of go down. Even some of my okra here went down. I had to put it back up. Now it's bigger now, but it's, you know, it's heating up here. Some of it I had to put it back up. It just kind of blew over. Well, anyways, just want to show you a little update. This time, with the wind, the corn stood up. No clickbait.